Chapter 35 Sri Sai Satcharitra. Tested and never found wanting. Kaka Mahajani's friend and master. Bandra insomnia case. Bala Patil Nebraska. This chapter also continues the subject of the importance of the Udi. It also gives two cases in which Baba was tested and not found wanting. These cases will be taken up first. Preliminary. In spiritual matters or endeavors, sectarianism is the greatest bar to our progress. Those who believe the God is without form are heard saying that to believe the God is with the form is an illusion and that the saints are only human beings. Then why should they bend their head before them and offer dakshina? Persons belonging to other sects will also raise objection and says why should they bow and offer allegiance to other saints, leaving their Sadgurus. Similar objections regarding Sai Baba were heard before and are heard even now. Some say that they went to Shirdi. Baba asked for dakshina from them. Is it good that saints collect money in this fashion? If they do so, where is their sainthood? But there are many instances where men went to Shirdi to scoff but remained there to pray. Two such instances are given below. Kaka Mahajani's friend. A friend of Kaka Mahajani was a worship of God without form and was averse to idolatry. Out of curiosity, he agreed to go to Shirdi with Kaka Mahajani on two conditions. First one, that he would neither bow to Baba. Second one, nor pay him any dakshina. Kaka agreed to these conditions and they both left Bombay on a Saturday night and reached Shirdi in the morning. As soon as they put their feet on the steps of the masjid, Baba looked at the friend from a little distance, addressed him in sweet words as follows. Oh, welcome, sir. The tone that uttered these words were a peculiar one. It exactly resembled the tone of the friend's father. It reminded him of his departed father and sent a thrill of joy through his body. What an enchanting power the tone had. Being surprised, the friend said, This is no doubt the voice of my father. Then he at once got up and, forgetting this resolution, placed his head upon Baba's feet. Then Baba asked for dakshina twice, once in the morning and again at noon at the time of taking leave. But he asked it from Kaka only and not from the friend. The latter whispered to Kaka, Baba asked for dakshina from you twice. I'm happy I'm with you, but why does he omit me? You ask Baba himself, was Kaka's reply. Baba asked Kaka what his friend was whispering, and then the friend said Baba himself whether he should pay any dakshina. Baba replied, You had no mind to pay, so you were not asked. But if you want to pay now, you may. Then the friend paid rupees 17 as dakshina, the same amount that Kaka paid. Baba then addressed him a few words of advice. You do away, destroy the Tilly's wall, there is sense of difference between us, so that we can see and meet each other face to face. Then Baba allowed him to depart. Though the weather was cloudy and threatening, Baba assured him of safe journey and both of them reached Bombay safely. When he reached home and opened the door, on the windows of his house, he found two sparrows fallen dead on the ground and one was just flying out through the window. He thought that if they had left the windows open, two sparrows would have been saved. But thought again that they had met the lot and that Baba had sent them to save the third bird. Kaka Mahajani's master. Kaka was the manager in the firm of Thakkar Dharmase Jethabai, a solicitor of Bombay. Both the master and the manager were on intimate terms. Mr. Thakkar knew that Kaka was often going to Shirdi, staying there for days and returning. When Baba permitted him, out of curiosity and just to test Baba, Mr. Thakkar decided to go to Shirdi and Kaka during Shimga holidays. As Kaka's return was uncertain, he took another man with him as an associate. The three started together and Kaka brought 2 sheets of raisin, that is dried grapes with seed, on the way to presentation to Baba. They reached Shirdi on due time and went to the masjid for darshan. Baba Sahib Thakkar was there. Mr. Thakkar asked him why he came there for darshan. Thakkar replied. Mr. Thakkar asked if miracles took there. Thakkar replied that it was not his attitude but the earnest intention of the bhaktas was satisfied here. Then Kaka prostrated himself before Baba and offered in the raisins to him. Baba ordered him to be distributed. Mr. Thakkar got a few of them. He did not like the raisins and he was advised by doctor not to eat them without washing and cleaning them. So he was in a fix. He did not know how to eat, not to reject them. To keep up formalities, he put them in his mouth, but did not know what to do with the seeds. He could not spit them out on the floor of the masjid, so he pocketed them against the wish. He then said in his mind that if Baba was the saint, how could he be ignorant of his dislike for the saints and could he force them on him? When this thought arose in his mind, Baba gave him some more raisins. He could not eat them but held them in his hand. Then Baba asked him to eat them. He obeyed and found to his surprise that they were all seedless. He wanted to see miracles and there was one. He knew that Baba read his mind, as per his wish, converted raisins into seedless grapes. What a wonderful power! Again, to test further, he asked Tarkar, who was sitting by and who was giving you some raisins? What kind of grapes you got? He replied, the variety with seeds. Mr. Tucker was still more surprised to hear this. Then, to confirm his growing faith, Tucker thought in his mind that if Baba was a real saint, the sentence should be now given to Kaka first. Reading this thought again, Baba ordered the distribution sheet to commence with Kaka. These proofs were sufficient for Tucker. Then Shama introduced Mr. Tucker as the master of Kaka, upon which Baba said, how could he be the master? He has got a different master altogether. Kaka appreciated this reply. Forgetting his resolve, Tucker saluted Baba and returned to the Wada. After the noon aarti was over, they all went to the masjid, were taking Baba's leave for his departure. Shama spoke for them. Then Baba spoke as follows. There was a fickle-minded gentleman. He had health, wealth, and was free from both physical and mental afflictions. But he took on him endless anxieties and burdens and wandered hither and there, thus losing his peace of mind. Sometimes he dropped the burden and at other times carried them again. His mind knew no steadiness. Seeing his state, I took pity on him and said, now please keep your faith on any one point, and like this, why roam like this? Stick quite to one place. Tucker at once came to know that was an exact description of himself. He wished that Kaka should also return with him, but no one except that Kaka would be allowed to leave Shirdi as so soon. Baba read also this thought to him and permitted Kaka to return to his master. Tucker got one more proof of Baba's capacity to read others' minds. Then Baba asked Kaka for rupees 15 as dakshina and received it. To Kaka he said, if I take 1 rupee as dakshina from anybody, I would have to return it tenfold to him. I never take anything granted. I never ask for any one discriminately. I only ask and take from whom the fakir points out. If anybody is indebted formally to the fakir, money is received from him. The donor gives so his seeds only to reap a rich harvest in the future. Wealth should be the means of work to dharma. If it is used for personal enjoyment, it is wasted. Unless you have given it before, you do not get it now. So the best way to receive is to give. The giving of dakshina advances vairagya, that is non-attachment, and thereby bhakti and jnana. Give one and receive tenfold. On hearing this verse, Mr. Tucker himself gave rupees 15 on Baba's hand, forgetting his resolve not to do so. He thought he did well in coming to Shirdi, as all his doubts were resolved, and he learned so much. Baba's skill in handling such cases was unique. Though he did all these things, he was totally non-attached to them. Whether anybody saluted him or not, whether anybody gave him dakshina or not, it was same to him. None need disrespect. He felt no pleasure because he was worshipped, and no pain because he was disregarded. He transcended the pair of opposites, that is, pleasure and pain, etc. Insomnia case. A Kayastha Prabhu, gentleman of Bandra, suffered from insomnia for long. As soon as he laid himself down for sleep, his departed father appeared in his dream and abused him and scolded him severely. This broke his sleep and made him restless the whole night. Every night this went on, and the man did not know what to do. One day he consulted a devotee of Baba in this respect. He recommended that the Udi as the only infallible remedy. He knew. He gave him some Udi and asked him to apply a little to his forehead before going to bed and keep the Udi packet under the pillow. He tried this remedy and found to his great surprise and joy that he got good sleep and there was no disturbance of any kind. He continued the remedy and always remembered Sai. Then he got a picture of Sai Baba which he hung on the wall near the pillow and started worshipping it daily, and on Thursdays offering garland and naivedya, etc. Then he got on well and forgot altogether his past trouble. Balaji Patil Nevarskar. This man was a great devotee of Baba. He rendered most excellent and disinterested service. Every day he swept and cleaned all the passage streets in Shirdi through which Baba passed in his daily routine. This work was after him equally well done by another female devotee named Radha Krishna Mai, and after by her Abdullah. When Balaji reaped discount every year, he bought the whole quantity and presented it to Baba. He returned with what Baba gave him and maintained himself and his family with him. This course was followed by him for many years, and after that by his son. Power and efficacy of Udi. Once it happened that Balaji's death anniversary day, a certain number of guests were invited and the dinner was prepared for them. But at the dinner time, it was found that thrice the number of people invited had turned up. Mrs. Nevaskar was in a fix. She thought that the food would not be sufficed for the people assembled, and that if it fell short, the honor of the family would be at stake. Her mother-in-law comforted her by saying, Don't be afraid, it's not ours but Sai's food. Cover every vessel with cloth, putting some udi in it, and serve them from the same without opening it. Sai will save us from ignominy. She did as she was advised, and it was found to a great surprise and joy that not only did the food suffice for all, but plenty of it remained after serving. As one feels intently, so he realizes accordingly, was proved in this case. Sai appearing as serpent. Once Raghu Patil of Shirdi went to Patil's house at Nivase. That evening he found that a serpent entered the cowshed hissing. All the cattle were afraid and began to move. The inmates of the house were frightened. But Balaji thought that it was Sai who appeared in his house as a serpent. Without being afraid in the least, he bought a cup of milk and placed it before the serpent and said, Baba, why do you mess and make noise? Do you want to frighten us? Take the cup of milk and drink it and be calm, mind. Saying this, he sat close by unperturbed. The other members were frightened and did not know what to do. In a short time, the serpent disappeared. Nobody there where it went. It was not found, though a search was made in the cowshed. Balaji had 2 wives and some children. They sometimes went to Shirdi from Nevase for taking Baba's darshan. Then Baba bought saris and other clothes which were given to them with his blessings. Bo to Sri Sai, peace be to all.